Hello and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I am Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we're a podcast all about like knitting and crocheting and all kinds of things you can do with yarn and fiber and stuff.
Sometimes embroidery, but not today.
Sometimes embroidery, not today.
Not today. Yarn.
Today's a yarn day.
And it's Montclair, New Jersey.
Montclair, New Jersey. Not
lovely downtown Montclair, New Jersey. Not Virginia.
Is there Virginia? See, it's so funny because anytime I do like a Montclair High School search, it's like
Montclair, California.
Montclair, California.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, their facility looks great.
Their SEO is like way better than ours.
Way better. I don't know if they're bigger. They must be bigger.
And I think Montclair, Virginia is like a crossroads. But it's off 95 and we have stopped there at like a
I remember that.
It's not really a 7-Eleven. It's it's like a independent 7-Eleven. So it's
Gotcha.
a little mom and pop, roadside kind of thing. That, at least that's what it was last time we stopped it. Which was probably about 10 years ago. So it may be bigger than that now. Let us know.
My yarn. So
Comment below.
I have to undo my bag somewhat. So there we go. Now my yarn is.
Oh yeah, and it would be nice if I had my pattern out in front of me, right?
I mean, picky. Picky. Anyway, so we are. Let's see. In September, I had to think.
Yes.
Isn't that terrible that I had to think?
No, we're totally in September.
It is September, and it felt like September this morning.
Yeah,
it was so nice.
Nice.
I wore a jacket.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
I am still wearing sandals. I run hot. So, yeah, I'm in that limbo between we're back from vacation and school hasn't started yet, but it will start in. By the time you're watching
That's
this,
right. You will
have started. Thank God.
Do your kids have summer work there?
No, you know what? I assigned them summer work.
Okay.
But I know that the high school tends not to assign summer work because it is somewhat inequitable.
Okay.
I, however, yes, I am fine with being inequitable with my son because I'm like, guess what? You got to do something.
Yeah.
So, I assigned him work. I basically found out some of the books that I think a lot of the books that they're going to be reading for his class in ELA, English Language Arts, for those of us who grew up with English
And language
arts.
Yeah, I was like, language arts was
It was
French.
I really knew. We
didn't have it.
We called English language arts. We did.
Did you?
Yeah.
We just called it English.
Yeah.
We were like,
I mean, I think we called it English colloquially, but like on the school schedule, it was language arts.
oh my God, our school schedule was English.
Interesting.
That's so funny.
Do you know what? My yarn that I need is under the table.
Where is it?
It fell.
Where'd it
I
go?
don't know.
All
right.
Problem solved. Yarn.
Problem
My
ball.
yarn has been
solved.
retrieved. I can continue knitting.
Yay.
Let me scoot in a little. I'm like
So,
on the edge here.
So I assigned my older son. I basically was like, here's what you're going to be reading the next year in English, ELA. And you're going to read a lot of the stuff beforehand because it's always easier to read something the second time, especially if you're looking for analysis and stuff. And he's a pretty fast reader, but not a thorough reader. And so he always gets more out of it the second time. And this was a tip from one of our students, friend of the store, Benedetta, who's her son and my son are the same age. And she was like, "Oh, the teacher suggested this," and I'm like, "I am stealing that." So it's great. So he read a bunch of stuff. He read *Handmaid's Tale*, *Kite Runner*.
Cool.
The
Very
things
good.
they carried, and like
very good.
Really
I love that. That's a great idea.
Right?
Like do it as enjoyable reading over the summer, and then like I said, when you're reading it again in school, it's something you're familiar with.
Exactly. And I got him the graphic novel version of Macbeth, so he could familiarize himself with the story before he goes into I'm like, the teacher can teach you how to read a play.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fine.
Again, highly recommend Drunk Shakespeare in the City.
Oh my God, yes!
So good. So good.
I know. We're trying to decide whether to go to the Globe or not when we're in London. We might. It's Comedy of Errors, I think, is what is when we're there. But we probably are going to do our tea there at the restaurant Connected.
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
It was funny, last week, one of Haley's teachers, language arts teachers from high school, was in. And she's retired. She's living about a half hour away now, but she came in. It was so nice to see her.
Oh.
Haley wasn't here that day, but we had such a great conversation. It was lovely to see her again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just happy because Abby finished her summer work this morning.
Yay! Yay, Abby!
So we're not doing a repeat of last year where she was up till 3 a.m. the day before school started.
Yeah, that's never fun.
No. What kind of summer work do they have?
They have every class assigned summer work. So they have a extensive math packet and social studies, a science, read these articles and analyze, and then they've got 2 books for summer reading. One is, well, hers, one they, like, everybody reads the same book, and the other one they've got options. So hers that everybody read was The Outsiders, because she's in 7th grade, and that's what you read.
That's what you do.
And then, what was her second one? Hunger Games. She read Hunger Games. She loved it. Yeah.
Nice.
And now she's like, can I watch the movie now? Because I won't let her watch it until...
Yeah, no, read the whole series first.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind. Like, she can still read the first. We can watch the first movie. Anyway, I just am thrilled that she read a book and enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
That is one of the books. I'm not a huge reader, but that is one that I read the books and, devoured them. I'm not so thrilled with the writing, but the story is so gripping. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Yeah. I remember basically everybody hoarding the galleys when they came out because we were like, you have a galley? Fork it over. Spread it around the office.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I was reading that. I remember reading that at work and not doing work. I just reading my book.
That is the part where I was like, I do miss I'm reading. I'm actually working.
Competition.
I'm actually working.
That's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's sort of what we do now. We're knitting for work.
Exactly.
We're totally knitting for work.
Definitely.
I was gonna say, is there anything else going on around town? I have not finished school supply shopping. I mean, it's also a little tricky because, for my younger son, they do a fundraiser in the spring where it's basically like, order your school supplies and they will show up. There will be a box on the desk the first day of school. And I'm like, nice. Yes, please.
That's great.
Because then I don't have to do anything. And it's a fundraiser. And the price is actually really reasonable.
I would totally do that.
Your school should absolutely do it. It is fantastic. And this is the last year. It's usually like the elementary school.
Yeah.
The schools do it. But the middle schools don't. So this is Ollie's last year in elementary. So I'm like, I'm getting that the last year. But Flax is like, I don't know.
Yeah, they really don't need for high school.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
You gotta see what the teachers want after they've met with them and everything.
And I'm like, I'm not a binder girl. I
love binders.
Well, I'm a lefty. So
yeah.
Binders are the worst. If
binders are very.
If I want to write in a 2-inch column, give me a binder.
Yeah.
I'm like, but a spiral down
notebook.
Turn
it upside down though.
No, because it's just like...
The pockets are the wrong way then and everything.
The pockets are the wrong way. And also, I always liked to write on both sides of the paper.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you could take it out. I'm like, yeah, that's going to really work well for someone who's already chaotic.
Yeah. I was a big, 5-star...
5-star spiral
with the pockets. Yes. That was what I always took in high school.
And I liked the 5 subject ones because then I would never be without the correct notebook.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Thank you. I agree.
That's the best.
I tried to swing Max on that and he was like, no. I'm like, all right, dude. That's fine. You do your own.
I tend to, as I go through the year, whenever I'm at Staples, I always look and if they have notebooks or folders that especially are Minecraft, or Mario, or Zelda, or any of that
any of those things
theme,
you know will appeal.
I just get 1 or 2 of every design and just put them in our...
You got a nice little stash.
So, we didn't have to buy that much stuff. But we were at the... there was a Asian food fair in Queens this weekend. So we went on Saturday. It was Panda Day. It was just like a panda themed day. Oh my goodness, they had the cutest things. I'm going to put a picture in here of these sugar-coated fruits that they had. It was delicious. The shaved ice was amazing. And then, so we basically, we were making a choice of like, go to the beach or go to Panda Day.
Panda Day.
We went to Panda Day, and it was a great choice because it was also Poplio Community Day for all of you Pokemon Go players. So we were in a park in Queens. We got there.
Fun.
We didn't know it started at 2. We thought it like started earlier. So we got there at like 1:15.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
easy to kill 45 minutes with.
But then we got a table, like one of the park tables, and we just stayed there and wouldn't move. And so our group, because there's 4 kids and 2 grown-ups, right? We just camped out at the table. One person would go and get food, and we would get like 2 entrees for 6 people, And
you're getting like a bunch of them.
Yeah, and then the next person would go and get what they were interested in. The next person would go. So that was like, it was lovely. Yay.
That sounds so fun.
So that's what we did instead of going to the beach this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't such beach weather. It was a little on the cool side this weekend.
Yeah, we did the pool yesterday. Well, because we came back. I don't like traveling on Labor Day because I don't want to get stuck in a car for 17 hours.
Yeah, it was gorgeous weather here.
And and it was really pretty at the Cape too. So we came back a little bit earlier, which was nice. And then we just hung out. Like the kids were very thrilled when it was cloudy over the weekend, and I was like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
You don't have any screen limits today. And
Sunday.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, Sunday we just
it's a gift from me to you.
Yeah.
Like don't expect it again. Warning them. I gotta warn them.
It's what we call a holiday.
Yes, this is a holiday for all of us. So like I can watch whatever I want.
Right.
Without having to hear like
we sort of did that. Charlie has a Switch. He got a Switch at Christmas from Santa Claus. And he downloaded Animal Crossing yesterday.
Have fun.
So at night, he started his Animal Crossing, and we all watched him. So he put it on the TV.
Oh,
I love that.
All of us were sitting in the den, giving him advice on what.
Yeah.
Catch the butterfly. Catch the butterfly.
Oh, he's not even at that point yet. Yeah.
Oh, is he still like, I gotta build a stick to cross the river?
Yes.
I wonder when. Is there a new one on the horizon or anything? Or
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely pandemic vibes, right?
Yeah,
totally.
I was like, I don't even remember this, but I think I probably wasn't even in the room. I think Catherine started it, and I wasn't even in the room. Yeah, there's a lot of our Animal Crossing island. I know we discussed this a lot in 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of our island that was never completed because Catherine went to college and she was the owner of the island.
Oh.
And she didn't play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so our island is just stuck in time because the primary player doesn't progress the game.
You can restart it.
I know we can, but we love our island.
But then, then you lose things. That's why I was torn. Part of me wanted to restart mine, but it's
No. Eric's Switch is like the OG island, which has Lily's and Jackie. Jackie was her best friend in high school, right? Like they're in college now. They're sophomores in college. But they used to be at our house all the time. And they have houses that are right next to each other.
Oh,
with their little connecting pathways and gardens.
So cute.
Catherine has her house that's like all decorated in pink. Right? Eric has the land of Eric, which has Mario tubes coming up, and he could build whatever he wanted in his segment of the island.
Nice.
And all of our villagers are lined up in a row.
So cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
That's very cute.
And I have Mom's corner where no one else is allowed to plant things. Don't take my flowers.
I know, right?
Don't go running through my flowers either.
Yeah. Well, there's a hedge around them, so.
That's good. So they can't do that.
Yeah.
They can't accidentally run through.
Yeah. So what's coming up for us as school is starting.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically what I've been focused on. I know there's a lot of festivals and things that come up in the fall because the weather's fantastic around here.
Yeah.
Coming up for the next few weeks, and obviously
my favorite time of the year for sure.
It's really the best time.
I love fall.
That's so nice.
Fall in the New York.
We'll all be talking about Rhinebeck. Next time we should give you sort of a rundown of Rhinebeck activities, what's going on, what's going on Friday. I know probably a lot of our viewers know what's going on Friday, but some may not. So we'll give a little rundown of that next time. I'll have that prepared.
Have they opened pre-orders for merch yet?
I haven't seen the what do you call it? I haven't seen the sheep and wool merch come out.
Yeah.
But I think Indie Untangled merch is out.
Oh, okay, good.
But yeah, we'll put that in there too. That'll be good. So
Excellent.
we'll do a whole preview.
We'll have a whole special.
Yeah, with links included next time.
Yes.
So.
And I do think Sheep and Wool usually uses the same design for 2 years, and then they do a new one. So I think this will be the second year of the design that they debuted
They
last
do a
year.
different year. They use a different design every year.
I don't know. There have been...
They use the...
maybe it was a pandemic thing that they repeated.
Yeah, no,
some.
I'm pretty sure that... And I saw the design that they were using for this year. It's definitely different from last year.
All right, cool. I know some people...
Sheep.
Some
that
people
was so pretty.
loved it. I didn't love last year's. I didn't get any of the things. My favorite of recent memory, anyway, is the one with all the animals that look like a rock band.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I love
that's
that one.
cute.
I have that T-shirt. I wear it all the time.
was that
So
Indie?
No, that was Rhinebeck.
Oh,
It's right back.
Oh,
Whatever
I don't
year
have that one.
it was. That was, and it was a great T-shirt design too. Like it was a scoop neck. It was like very kind of comfortable.
They do well with the merch.
They do.
Definitely worth it, and definitely worth pre-ordering. But we'll go all into that
Yeah, next time.
next time. Well, let's talk about finished objects.
Well, first let's talk about what's coming up new in our store because we have activities and events coming up,
That's right.
and then I'll talk about finished objects.
That's right.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Jen's
So
excited.
So the day that this episode comes out, if you're in our area
yeah.
at all, we have a trunk show with Hopemade yarns and Simply Vintage designs. So Hope and Keisha will be here from 12 to 5. And, come on down. They've got beautiful yarn, beautiful jewelry and stitch markers.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
And we're excited to be hosting them
Yeah,
for the
and
first time.
You miss it. We usually do hold on to a few skeins.
Yeah. Exactly.
From our trunk shows. And if you're further afield and can't make it, I'm going to put all their contact information down below as well.
Nice.
So definitely support indie artists. That'd be great.
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Do we have other things coming up? I guess Kim's Rhinebeck Sweater Class kicks off tomorrow.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which right now we don't have a lot of people. I'm so surprised. It's such a great sweater.
It is a
Lady
great
Fingers.
That's a great sweater.
I'm going to make it anyway. So.
I know. I've heard of a bunch
Y'all
of
can
people
go
that
along
want to
with
make it, but we don't have that many people signed up currently. Maybe by the time this comes up, we will. I mean, we do see that actually a lot of times in
like
the last week before, and also, it was just Labor Day and everything, so it's like people are sort of refocusing and
come back into.
I know that's for sure for me. Like I didn't think about anything September until like Sunday.
And then it's like, oh wait, it's September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's another class too that Kim's doing, the Fullerton Pass.
Yeah.
And that one we have an in-person, but we also have a Zoom class.
Yes.
So if you are further afield but you still want to take the class, definitely sign up for that.
Yes.
I'm definitely wearing my Fullerton one day to Rhinebeck.
Mm-hmm. I should wear mine as well.
Maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
I know. I got to start planning on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, now you have the Fullerton done, so we can all Fullerton one day.
Fullerton.
Yes.
That's a good one too, because it's not too hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say a vest is a good option for that.
Yeah, both the vest and just like it's a nice light, airy kind of.
Yes.
It's got the fluff, so
and
it's
fast.
not super.
And
It is. One other big thing that's coming up in store, and this is if you're local, in store only, is our birthday sale.
Yay!
We are finishing our 7th year of business. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So crazy. So incredibly hard to believe. So thank you everybody for supporting us. We love doing this. We love having the store. We love the community we built both in person and virtually.
Yeah. This is my retirement plan. I'm going to be here forever.
Yeah. Hey, why not? I mean, it's
It's like,
get to play with yarn every day. It's
every
like,
day. Literally.
every day. Even if some days it's just going around and rearranging the shelves.
But that's awesome.
That's
so
nice. Really nice. Exactly.
And be like, green the order.
Yeah, exactly.
It really makes like all the synapses in my brain fire. It's so visual, so tactile.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like
everything
activity. Yes, it's so good.
So that is the 9th, Monday the 9th through the 15th or 16th, I guess is the 16th, right? It would be the following 16th. Sunday. So it's Monday through a Sunday.
Yep.
And we are going to have, we're moving out a lot of things. We are bringing in a lot of things.
Yes.
In order to bring in those things, and those we'll definitely tell you about next time as well.
Next episode as well. It'll be a big episode.
A lot of new stuff. But we've got to make some room. We've got to clear things out in order to bring in those new things.
Yes.
So we've got a number of Juniper Moon lines that, we've had for a while. It's just time for them to move on. Some Ella Ray. I don't know, but you just have to see.
On sale
so
you're really going.
Some good surprises, I think, too, that you'll really enjoy seeing.
So the things that we put on sale will be 30% off, and they'll be, come and get them while they're here, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Yep.
So the sooner you shop, the sooner you take advantage of those deals.
Yep. Definitely follow us on Instagram, because that's going to be, I would say, between the newsletter, right, which you can subscribe to, and Instagram, that's going to be where you're going to see, like, oh my goodness, that's on sale. Like, I gotta go get it now.
Yeah, we'll have full details and whatnot in the newsletter, and then, but yeah, it's in store only.
Mm-hmm.
So worth it if you're close enough to make a trip.
That's right.
Yep. And come say hi.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And did you have anything else that was around townish?
No, as I said, I didn't pay attention this time.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
The only other thing that I'm aware of, and it's even further afield, but I'll just mention it now because it was so fun last year when I did go, the Walnut Street Fair, which was supposed to be
it's rescheduled.
It's
They rescheduled, but I thought it already happened.
No, it was supposed to, but that was the day we got like 5 inches of rain, and it was forecast that we were going to get 5 inches of rain, so they actually canceled it a day ahead, which was a good thing because it would. It was supposed to be in May, but it was like 50 degrees and pouring and. But it was, so when they rescheduled it, the first day, I think it's September 29th. The signs start, the poster's in the window.
Nice.
I believe it's September 29th.
Yeah, I'll put it. It'll be on the bottom.
Yeah, it's right at the bottom. It's toward the end of September. But it was so much fun. Like, they closed down Walnut Street in Montclair, and there were so many different...
Walkable for me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that weekend. My parents just decided to come that weekend.
Oh, wow. And that's shortly before. And that is when I am going to be away on vacation. So I'm going to miss it again.
But yeah, that'll be an activity. I think we might go pumpkin picking that weekend too.
Mm-hmm.
It might be our one and only. That's the other thing. Now that it's September, I'm like, oh my goodness, we have to schedule the pumpkin picking weekend because there's so many activities. There's usually only one weekend, and then if you wait till October, the line is if you don't schedule your pumpkin picking, it might not happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
We are oh my God, Halloween's next week.
Let's go get some pumpkins.
Go get some pumpkins.
Yeah, and that's the crazy weekend to go pumpkin picking.
Oh, actually.
Well, we don't go pumpkin picking. I literally am like, I cannot deal with that. It's too much. Too much.
We used to do it when Haley was really little.
We did it like twice, and I was like, never again.
Really?
I got stung by a wasp on my lip.
Oh, God.
And it was like nobody could find the right pumpkin that they wanted. And I'm like, I'm going to kill all of you. And like, or I'm just going to go sit in the car. I'm like, we can't do this. It was a
It sounds like no fun.
It was. I'm like, I need to not be involved at all.
If you really want to do it, it's got to be without me.
Pick a pumpkin. Any pumpkin.
Pick a damn pumpkin.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, what about this one? Oh, what about this one? God forbid somebody like small at the time wanted to carry their pumpkin and it was too big for them to carry, and then they drop it, and then the thing breaks, and
then they need a new pumpkin.
Yeah, brains, and then I need a new pumpkin, and this one's a perfect pumpkin. I'm like,
and I'll never find a pumpkin like this again.
Stab my eyes out with a needle.
Yeah.
You have way more patience than me.
Well, and I have way more people. So
yeah.
We did like the pumpkin picking at Whiteman Farms, which has the apples. I've been doing that for years, and that was where I used to get like the annual picture of the kids. So that I love it if it's an overcast day.
Yeah.
Then the lights not
sunny.
light.
It's better.
Yeah, and I've got lots of really good pictures of the kids and pumpkin patch or in the apple orchard. They love picking the apples. Apples are a lot more efficient than blueberries. Like you can literally pick apples for 5 minutes. You're good. If you've got 6 kids with you, 5 minutes you're done.
Yeah, you don't really want more than that.
Yeah.
But then we actually use all the apples. So Beth will make a pie, and now like I used to make a couple pies, but now Beth is the pie baker because she does better than me. And then she'll sauce the rest of it. And then we just have applesauce for like the rest of the year. It's so good. And I was thinking, Catherine has this new contraption. I feel like this didn't exist when I was having babies. Maybe
there are always new things. It's amazing.
So they like make their own. Like you get the squeezy tube pouches from the store. And it's so like wasteful too for the because like they're not recyclable or whatever. Like it's just not. I don't feel really good about them, but like they're so easy.
Yeah, so much easier to feed them with that.
So they have a machine that like makes those now.
It's amazing.
So like fills them for you.
Yeah, kind of? Like you have 6 pouches, right? You put the stuff in the top, and it sucks it into the pouches. You squeeze them out, put them in the fridge, and whenever you want to use them, use them. Like Catherine buys no pouches; she just uses that.
That's
for everything. Like whatever they're making for dinner, mash it up.
Dinner.
That's very
done.
Cool.
I love it.
Fantastic.
But wouldn't it be awesome to have that for applesauce? I would have applesauce as a snack every day.
I loved those applesauce patches where I was like, fork that around. You stick them in the freezer and then they're like an apple slushie. Jonathan makes a really good applesauce, but the other reason we don't go apple picking is that we belong to the CSA, the Community Supported Agriculture, and we get a fruit share. So we already have a ton of apples. They're starting today.
Yeah.
How much is a ton of apples? No, I mean, not like, I don't mean that as a math question, by the way. I meant like, because I think my family might eat a ton of apples a week already.
You have more people than we do.
Yeah.
But we get, I don't know, probably
like 3 to 5 pounds a week or something.
Yeah,
right?
I would say about 6 pounds a week.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like different types and everything.
And different types of apples, and sometimes like a mix of like.
If you let him,
apples.
Teddy will eat 2 apples a day.
Yeah. Always
by himself, right? And then the other ones come in, especially if there's peanut butter in the house. Oh, they're a big peanut butter and apple.
Yeah,
we're combo. We're a big apple household, and then
I'm an apple and brie person. I put brie in the fridge.
Apple and cheddar.
I don't want to eat that.
We're a big apple household, and then also as they start getting like a little sadder, we're like, all right, Jonathan's gonna make. My family does not eat pie because they're crazy.
Haley didn't like pie for the longest time either. She was like, warm fruit is disgusting.
No,
Jonathan doesn't like any cooked fruit unless it's cherries. He'll eat cherry pie. That's it. Maybe he'll have a little blueberry pie.
Love blueberry pie.
Neither of my children like pie. They'll deal with applesauce is fine. I did get them to eat a little bit of peach cobbler, which, to be fair, was delicious.
Oh my God.
They were like, yeah, I accept this. And I was like, oh, dude, you're killing me here. Because I love pie.
Mm-hmm.
And if I make pie,
I'd rather have a pie than a cake.
I will 100%. Cake is the worst. Sorry,
cake is the worst.
I do like pie.
I don't like cake.
Versus cake.
I mean, I'll eat it, but I don't like it.
Right.
Pie. Give me a fruit dessert any day of the week.
Yes.
Any day of the week. Yes. All right.
Anyway.
Maybe that's what I'll do. All right. We should talk about finished objects.
Yeah,
otherwise
let's
we're going to go deeper down the pie
fruit versus pie versus cake rabbit hole.
Right.
All right.
All right. So
I have finished objects.
Yay! Show us.
Do you have finished objects, Kathleen?
Just what I'm wearing.
Oh, okay.
Which is an old finished object.
I have new finished objects.
I got nothing.
All right.
I got almost nothing.
Rhinebeck sweater number 1 is done.
Yay!
Yay! So pretty.
I'm so happy with this. And so I'll come up a little bit. This is made in the Malabrigo Rios, which is a superwash worsted hand dyed yarn made in South America. And we just got it in this spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or this summer. And this is the color Leo. Oh, I'm going to say, so hand dyed, or kettle dyed, right? Like, which means skeins vary a little bit. And you can see that here, because I did not alternate skeins.
I was going to ask, did you alternate?
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't either.
But you can tell a little bit, right? Like, it's bluer up here. There's more purple here. We go back to a little bit bluer down here. Yeah, you can tell a little bit. I don't care.
You can tell a little bit, but you don't really have any hard lines of demarcation because there's enough variance within the within the skein itself.
Malabrigo is pretty consistent. I would say not as consistent as the Tosh Vintage, which is what I did Chad's sweater in.
Yeah.
But it's reasonably consistent. If I was like entering this in the county fair, right, and wanted a perfect sweater, then I might alternate skeins.
Mm-hmm.
If I was doing this for a friend, I would not alternate skeins.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the other thing I sometimes do with that is just like fade it a little bit, like when
Right.
you have, you know,
That would have probably helped as well.
however
Although
many
I feel like
grams left.
you could definitely see the purple is different than blue up here.
You can see the purple is different, but again, you have the shots of the lighter, like pinky purple.
Yeah, it's still
that help blend
variegated enough.
And this
I
is the
would be
thing.
fine with it,
I'm
too.
super happy with
When you get the yarn, like, lay out the skeins
Yeah.
to see if there's one that is like, you know, or a couple. If like there's a big difference, then maybe alternate. But if not, no.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's the pattern?
This is Flax Worsted by Tin Can Knits.
Ooh,
Yay.
Which is a very beginner basic, can be your first sweater pattern. I took that as a template. So Tin Can Knits is known for being incredibly size inclusive. They go everywhere from preemie newborn up to like triple XL men's.
Yep.
Right? And have every size in between in terms of size, in terms of chest circumference, pretty much in between, which is what the differences are as you go up. Because it's a unisex sweater as well. And yeah, so I just picked the chest circumference, the circumference that worked for me. I chose one with 0 ease. I actually did no waist shaping at all.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's really
it's and I think it turned out to be like sort of 0 ease at my waist, and a little bit of negative ease at my bust, which turns out lovely. I did knit the sleeves. I knit 3 sleeves,
Oh no.
or a solid 2 3/4.
Sometimes those sleeves, they'll just get you.
I knit the first sleeve and it was great, right? It's I would say just 0 ease, if not like half a centimeter of negative ease, right? It's snug. A lot of people don't like snug sleeves. I like snug sleeves.
I like snug sleeves.
Yeah. But I mean, I hear that as like a complaint about certain designers who have a tendency to use more snug sleeves.
Yeah.
Right? Like they are quite snug. So and I modified this design here on the shoulder in the original pattern, which, like I said, is a beginner friendly pattern. There isn't a complex cable on. It's actually not that complex, but there isn't a cable on the sleeve. But this is from Chad's sweater. This is a cable from his sweater, which you'll see in a minute. So I just added it onto my sleeve.
I love that.
So
Such
we
a
have
great
a little
idea.
bit of matchy-matchy.
Yep.
Right? And I used the same ribbing that's in his sweater on my cuffs, sleeves, collar. I did a sort of a mixed bind off on the sleeves. The bottom, I did a standard bind off, knit 1, knit 2, over, knit 2, over. I started off by doing the blended, sort of what I call a blended bind off. What do you call it? Where you, when I'm on the knit side, then I pass both stitches over to the left needle and knit them through the back loop.
Yes. So that's Russian lace bind off or decrease bind off.
Yep. I do that on the knits, and on the purls, I do the standard.
Yep.
Just purl 1 and then slip over. And that gives me sort of like a half stretchy bind off. But I found even on the bottom, that was flaring a little bit. So I just went with a standard bind off all the way around. But on the collar, I did a sewn bind off because you see the collar.
You see the collar so much more than anything else.
So I did a sewn bind off on the collar.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's such a good. It's such a good idea to be able to take something that's like a nice, easy silhouette like Flax and be like, okay, where they have 15 stitches of garter detailing down the sleeve,
right?
Switch it up.
Yeah,
do a cute little cable.
Yeah,
it's a nice cable too.
Right? Isn't it pretty? Well,
yeah,
it's Noragon.
It's really nice.
What do you expect?
Of course,
it's
pretty.
Cables.
It's Noragon.
Yeah. So so this is Rhinebeck sweater number 1. Woohoo!
Yay!
I'll probably be wearing this one on the hill because Chad will be with me on Saturday.
And you can be matching.
There will be a little matchy. Yay.
Cute.
So that's, this is Rhinebeck sweater number 1 done. I'm so happy.
Ahead of time, even.
I know. Way ahead of
Look
time.
at you.
And then I have a second finished object. You want me to talk about that too?
Yes,
let's
go
see
for
it.
it.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna
All
untwist
right.
my.
I finished Evie's sweater. I got another skein of yarn. I finished
Yay.
Evie's sweater. Yay.
Oh my god,
Oh,
it's so cute.
So cute.
This
so
is,
cute.
and they're both blocked. I blocked this. I know I blocked this.
Oh my god.
I know. This one is actually
Finished and blocked? What
still
are you?
damp. My sweater, I ended up tossing it in the dryer for about 15 minutes because it was not drying at my house this weekend. So
Yeah.
I just gave it 15 minutes last night, and that was enough that it would dry by this
I
morning.
mean, it's superwash.
Yep. Same
Yeah.
with this one. This one is superwash too. It's Cash Merino by Ella Ray is the fiber, and the pattern is Charlie's Day Set by Avec Anna. Charlie's Day Set originally has stripes going through it. But again, I used it as a template because it's just a basic little button-up cardigan, and I used this new pom-pom yarn that we have from
Tama?
Tama.
From
Tama from Ikigai.
From Ikigai, yeah. So, see, it has little pom-poms. I just held that yarn all the way through on the body, not on the ribbing, not on the collar or the cuffs. But, yeah, it made it really cute.
It's so cute. I kind of want a grown-up version of that.
Right?
Oh, that's a fun idea.
Right?
It's really cute.
I would 100% wear that.
But also, we have like more subtle colors.
Yeah,
too.
there's
That'd
like
be
a
great
just a pink.
Absolutely.
There's
Right
the
here. I
taupey, or the gray.
I was about to say, it's the Jen Green.
The
over
gray. Yeah, and
Or
the
the
gray
green.
green.
But that would be such a great holiday sweater. That
Right?
on
How fun would this
Yeah.
there.
be?
You could hold that with a sparkle
yeah.
and a worsted. That'd be a really fast
I
one.
love it.
Make a flax with
Make a
that
flax.
and a sparkle.
I would totally do that.
That would be
Maybe
a
I should
really
do that.
cute sweater.
Really cute. And actually, we are already out of the unicorn color, but
Mhm.
we're going to have to get more of that.
Yeah, I noticed that.
We should have gotten 2 bags of that. We should have,
I
whatever.
noticed that because I was in here on. We were closed on Sunday. I was in here on Sunday with my kids because Abby's been working on her crochet. She's been
Nice.
working on her super yummy crochet blanket
Uh-huh.
Nice.
and needed more of that. That super yummy goes really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it works for her right now for crochet because she's been having trouble with her eyesight.
Mm.
And she can't see a lot of the finer things. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
if
So
she's
a
doing
nice
boobles or
chunky-
something.
Mm-hmm.
But with a super yummy, like the holes are so big.
Yeah.
that, she can see them and
That's perfect.
works just fine.
That's
so
great.
we were crocheting together on the couch this weekend.
So fun.
But I needed buttons for this sweater, so I brought it over and I was going to match the yarn. I was like, we're out.
Yeah.
Pink.
Yeah.
But I settled on white. I thought
I
about
like the
a lot
white.
of different colors. We have some really cute, like, glitter buttons.
That's what I was thinking. I was wondering if
Yeah.
you were going to do the Katrinkles. But is it almost like too much?
Well,
of the
that's
same
what
thing,
I
or-
was thinking. You know, like, I want the star of this little cardigan to be the pom-pom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
so that makes sense then. To
I
go
even
with
thought of
more.
putting pink buttons in, but in the end, I thought, you know what? I really want the star to be the pom-poms, so it makes sense to have just the
Mhm.
white
Yeah.
buttons.
Have
I
them
think that was
super
good.
subtle.
I like that choice.
Ta-da!
So do I.
It looks very ready to wear.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. She's gonna be so cute.
Yay! So those are my 2 finished objects. I'm so proud of myself.
Excellent. I have nothing.
I
Long
have.
summer.
Yeah, I only have what I'm wearing, and we were texting last night, in preparation for this, and I'm like, I've really only been working on one thing, so I have nothing finished, which
But
never
what are
happens.
you wearing?
So I am wearing the Jena top, which is a Barocco pattern, but I made it in Kakagori, and we'll talk about that later in New in Store. But yeah, I finished this earlier this summer. It's been so comfortable. Worn it a bunch. Yeah, just a nice little simple lace yoke.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
That's really
Not
pretty.
too low, so if you don't feel like wearing an emotional support cami, you don't.
I have mine on. It's blue.
None for me.
I'm sorry, Kathleen.
Just skin. So, but yeah, no, it feels really weird to have no finished objects, but that's the story.
Well,
No new
why don't we
finished objects.
jump to whips? Should we?
Sure, yeah,
Let's
I'll
do
continue.
your whip.
I'll
What's your
do
monogamous whip?
What's your monogamous whip?
my monogamous whip, so feels very weird. I have been working on my academic vest.
That is so pretty.
Thank you. And I'm so close to being done, or being close to being done with the, the original knitting part.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be steeked, so that's why it's got kind of a funny shape now.
I'm going to go up and take it so people can see the steeks and
talk about it looks really cool.
I got it to the midway point, so you can see with the shape here. You kind of cast off some stitches for your sleeves, then you start decreasing. And we've got steeks there, which Amanda will show you.
Yeah.
Both for the front and the armholes.
Like when you see the sweater that I did for...
Sorry. Try to get those out of there. Give you some... You want to just...
Give me a leash?
Either way.
All right. I'll take a leash. So, like on the sweater that I'm making for Chad, this is all like bound off. But here, it's not bound off. You just keep going. Look at that. So steeks at the armholes. Steeks in the middle. And what's the good part about having steeks in the armholes?
So the steeks are so that you can just continue knitting and not have to purl your color work, it's just harder to be even tension with purling color work, I think. And also I do enjoy knitting more than purling. So for me, it's like a double win.
That's so pretty.
So thank you.
And you get to just keep going.
Exactly.
Right.
That's, I don't know, it was only a couple of days ago I did the armhole bind off.
Yeah.
And I'm already almost at the point of, you do a 3 needle bind off for the shoulders. And earlier, right before we started taping, I was conferring with Jen because I wasn't happy with where the pattern was ending. And we always, Amanda and I always look to Jen as our final arbiter.
There's
all things knitting.
There's another Jen question coming up in a minute.
And I think that, sometimes you just need people to bounce stuff off.
You do,
right?
you do.
And be like, here's an opinion, whether you like it or not. And then you can be like, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, that was kind of what I did to her. It's like, here, I'm going to ask you this question, but I think I know the answer, except I did change my mind.
Oh, did you change your mind?
I did.
Oh my
I
God.
did.
Okay,
yeah. So
you asked me.
So basically, one thing I did with this, because it is kind of like walking, chewing gum, and patting your tummy all at the same time when you're doing this.
Right.
Because you've got your color work chart. Then, and also in this pattern, in the academic pattern, you do your armhole bind off decreases, and then you start the V-neck. And gotcha. I know why she wrote it that way. It's so you're only, walking and chewing gum at the same time, right?
Right.
But now we like a challenge, so we're gonna walk, chew gum, and pat my tummy at the same time. And
it's the dreaded at the same time notation in a pattern.
But I at the same time to myself because I wanted the V much lower. I didn't want. I mean, if you look at the pictures. In the pattern as it's written, the V is very high, and I just know I don't prefer to wear that, and I don't prefer the look of that. I do. I like the lower neck. So I did my underarm bind offs and I don't know, maybe 2 rounds of decreases because it's every other round for the armholes. Oh no, the armholes is every round. So I did 4 rounds of decreases, and then I introduced the neck steek.
Gotcha.
So what I did, and it's all crossed out now because I've done all of those rows, but I literally did a thing so that I knew which row of the chart I was working, and then what I needed to do. So row one is cast on armhole steeks, row 2 is armhole decrease 1, armhole decrease 2, etc., etc. And then by row 5, it's armhole decrease 4, cast on neck steek, work for a set of neck decreases.
Yeah.
And so for, I don't know, at least a dozen rows, I'm doing both, or a dozen repeats, armhole and neck decreases simultaneously. Then finally, you're done with your armhole decreases,
and then
you're just doing neck decreases every other row. But even so, it's just so much easier to have it. I mean,
Well, and then you can check and see because you can be like, all right, I know what row I'm in the color work.
Yeah.
And then be like, what am I supposed to do again?
And I've just been kind of holding them up next to each other and kind of sliding it as it goes because
really
they're not exactly It saved my sanity, and it's why I was able to do it in a few days, because I feel like I can't even imagine trying to do it without typing all of this up, and this took me 45 minutes one morning, but it was just
but taking that time
saved
you
so much
overall.
Oh, and just sanity, basically.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Not losing your mind.
Yeah. Not losing your mind. So, one thing, I had tried to do a lot more colors in this originally, and I am happy with this now. I really am. For a while there, when I was, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 inches in, it's not what I was envisioning, but I had spent enough time swatching and everything, and I needed to get going with it. that I decided to continue. I do like it, but I really wanted something that was more subtle and traditional Fair Isle looking, which usually is like 2 sets of 3 colors where you've got a dark, medium, a light of each, and they, interplay.
It's like you have a background gradient and then you have a foreground gradient.
Yeah.
And they contrast.
Yeah. So, maybe after I get back from my trip, I will do something like that too. Maybe in January, who knows? Maybe I need a break from this. But it has been fun and it's gone really fast. I started it July 31st. That was when I actually started it. So, and the first 2 weeks I was working on other things. The last 2 weeks I really have, I think, only worked on this.
Yeah.
So
wait, what was your... we circled back, but your question about...
So my question to Jen, because I didn't like the way I was approaching the part where I was going to have a very prominent band of color, both on the front and the back, and I just thought it would look kind of funny. But what Jen suggested...
Like you go over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see both.
Yeah. And, because it is steeped and written the way it's written, I mean, I suppose there could still be decreases, but just they weren't written in. And it probably would look better, actually, just to not have the pattern be interrupted in a diagonal way.
Right.
So I had been planning to kind of drop out the middle really prominent part of this next motif with 2 greens, but Jen suggested splitting it. So, like, doing it for 2 rows on the front and then consequently on the back. And I think I am going to be right at that, like, 9-inch mark at that point.
Yeah.
So it'll almost be like there'll be one repeat of it that goes across the shoulder.
Yeah, so it's like unifies it.
What? Oh my gosh. I can actually do the last row on the front only.
Yes.
I can actually really complete the motif.
And so it is completed.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm really happy.
Because then that's like a little subtle detail. It's like matching plaids, right?
Yes,
like
exactly.
when you have like a skirt or a shirt or something that has like matched plaids, and you're like,
it's
plaids.
Look how nicely I matched my plaids.
Look at my like Fair Isle matching.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, I can do that. That's perfect.
Well, and then also you don't get the like, because my concern would be if you have like consistent bands of a green contrast, right?
Yeah.
And then you're
all
missing it, and it's like.
And all of a sudden I'd have like 12 rows with the orange on my shoulder.
Yeah,
I think that would stand out too much.
That would stand out also.
The thing that's a shame actually is given where I am, where I'm going to be doing the extra row is on the front, and really you would traditionally want it on the back, but it's like a 1/6 of an inch, so it's not really going to matter. And honestly, it'll like roll over the shoulder.
It'll roll.
It's fine. It's good.
It'll roll.
It's all good. One thing, I mostly have been working on this while I've been watching television at night, and the light in our TV room is not that great. It's familiar enough with the pattern by the time I was, the last few weeks that I'm referring to the chart, but not in the same way I was early on.
Yeah.
And I missed the fact that I had the very darkest brown. I was supposed to do it in this row, so I just went back and duplicate stitched it.
I was going to say, I'm like, it is in that row.
It is. But, and I showed it to Jean last night, and I was like, all right, what's wrong with this picture? And he's looking and he's like, nothing.
Perfect.
Good answer. Thank you, Jean.
You're like, excellent. And especially, it's like, only if you point it out, there's like a very slight tension difference, but like,
it's
not even
just
the different, but that's the same kind of tension difference you get from like a random spot down here to like a random spot later.
I think duplicate stitching that was worth doing, but,
Sure.
And it's one of those things, if somebody actually notices that, I will give them a gold star because really it's, I'm at least it needed the color.
Stop staring at my boobs.
Be like, what you doing?
And I am going to go ahead and just, I made the same mistake a few rows later. You would think after I did notice it. I noticed this, but I was like at the end of the motif, and I'm like, I am not ripping 5 rows color work out for that.
There's
not
no
happening.
ripping.
Not happening. Well, especially because I knew I could duplicate stitch it.
Yeah.
It was one color that is like 1/5 of the stitches in the row. It's not a lot. But I am I'll just do the same sort of thing in this green motif where I again missed the fact that I should be using dark brown. Because in the light in my TV room, there's not that much of a difference between the dark green and the dark brown.
Yeah,
It's really hard to see it.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah. So, anywho. So this definitely should be done next time.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe done by the end of the week. We'll see.
Because after you finish it and do the 3-needle bind off, you have to cut the steeks.
Yep, I'm going to reinforce. I'm going to reinforce them on my sewing machine just because I have one and it's easy to do.
Yeah, why not?
And then then cut the steeks and then pick up
the
for
spingle. Yeah, you definitely don't. need to.
I
We
know.
have such pretty ribbons. Are you going to put a ribbon on them?
I might. I'll see. Yeah, I probably will. Well, we'll see if I have time before, because I have another sweater I want to finish in the
That's
next 2
true.
weeks
Yeah.
that I've only swatched for. I didn't even bring my swatch. I know this was my smallest packing ever for coming to the podcast. I usually have a bag with like 4 or 5 things. I have my computer and this.
There you go.
It
So
looks so great.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm using this green that I use for the bottom ribbing, also for the armhole ribbing and
Oh,
the
yeah,
neckline
nice.
ribbing. And it really does, I think, help that green pop,
Yep.
which I
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
it
It
to.
balances it.
It really
Yeah.
does. It
Yeah.
looks great.
So, yay. Very excited that this is almost done.
Yeah.
That's such a good one.
That's so awesome.
Thank you. I'm really happy
So
with
that's
it.
your whip.
That is my whip. That is my one whip.
Here are my whips. I've made very, very little progress on my Ilha. It's still here. And actually, it's rolling up a little bit. It's a little bit more because it's cotton. So I've got a couple more
So
inches
pretty.
to go. Yeah,
The lace motif is so pretty in that.
the lace motif
It
is
is really
so
nice.
pretty in that, and I think I want to make one in.
Let me
Wall.
show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show.
Go for it.
You get credit for.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just keep pulling.
Just keep pulling right there.
Just keep
You
pulling.
get to see this. This is Jen's summer sweater class, which
Many of the students have finished.
I was about to say.
have not.
I'm sure the majority of your class is
you know,
finished.
It's the
It's
body.
knitting around and doing some ribbing.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, when you're at Ultimate Frisbee in a few weeks, guess what
Oh my
you'll get to do?
Guess what I will finish at like the first one.
Exactly.
Because it's all day long.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have this, and this is in the handmade Hope
Hands
cotton,
on hope.
handspun Hope cotton, and eucalyptus. I want to say. And then I have my socks, which I've made some progress on my shorties, which are the hazel shorties. And I might actually be at where I need to start the toe. I need to try them on.
Cool.
So I did some of this at the Cape, but not much.
How did you find that cast on this?
Fiddly AF,
Okay.
but super cute.
Oh, they
Yeah.
are so. I love
Like,
that.
That's
So
what I was
cute.
like. It looked
Yeah.
super cute, but
It's a folded hem
I'm
tab.
gonna take it
Take it
up because this looks
It
beautiful,
was
but like
juggling needles.
yeah. See?
But it was
that.
super cute. It makes a really nice elastic,
That's really
sweet little tab heel. I did the contrast on the inside, which is also juggling the needles.
oh my goodness.
It was a lot of like folding, and I'm very experienced with the folded hem.
Yeah,
knitting
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So I have
all
no-
those hats.
all those hats.
All those hem tats.
I think that is one where if I had, what I probably should have done, or I might do if I do it again, like
You're gonna do another sock, right?
I gotta do another sock, right? But like another situation is find my 40-inch size 0 circulars and basically do transfer
Do both
everything
at the same
off
time?
transfer everything off of the DPNs onto the 40-inch circulars and do magic loop for just that row and then switch back because it was just
Deadly.
Yeah, there's a lot of
needle
points going on.
needle points going on, and like
Yeah.
kind of like when you're folding it, you kind of have to like
That
a
would,
lot
yeah. That
a
sounds
lot
like
of
good
opportunities for stitches to slip off the needles.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or an inverted yarn over.
And then invert and yarn over, right? So like it worked out totally fine. It wasn't hard per se, but it wasn't elegant.
It wasn't something you do while talking on the podcast.
Absolutely not.
plan.
It was like nobody talked to me for these 15 minutes, and then I just got it done, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's what I intended for Chad's sweater yesterday.
Oh,
Nobody
the
talked to
heck?
me for 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
I will be fine working on a stockinette sleeve.
Yeah.
So, I'll talk about his sweater.
Yeah, I want to.
So this was my Rhinebeck sweater. I started his sweater in like May. Still not done, but the fronts and backs are done. I showed you
But
last
you
time.
paused to do your sweater and other things.
I didn't actually pause to do my sweater. I just cast on because I wanted something less brain hurty.
But sometimes that's that's fine.
So this is the sweater.
Nice.
This is the back, I think. Yeah, this is the back. And you can tell I took this cable here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good. I love that.
Yay.
And so his is in Tosh Vintage?
Yeah, Tosh Vintage in saffron, the saffron colorway. And like I said, I also did not alternate skeins here.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
You really can't tell at all the vintage. Yeah, it's very evenly.
Especially if you have a color where it's like you have the whole, like it was all dyed in the same batch for Tosh Vintage or Tosh. I feel like that kind of goes. If you have two different batches, you might need to.
Yeah.
So,
which is why I look at them. That's why you want to look at them.
Exactly.
So the other thing I got while I was here on Sunday, aside from Evie's buttons for her sweater, is another set of Purl Strings. Woo! I got them in Clementine.
I have multiple ones now too.
Yeah, because I could only find one, which is plenty if you're just using it to try on a sweater.
Yeah.
Even for me, this is a sleeve tubing, and that
even the short one is still pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 1 meter, I think.
Yeah, so that was fine, and that's what I've been using. I don't know where the other two are. They're probably in a project.
I was going to say, they're in a project.
But anyway.
That's my guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They might be in a project. Holding
sleeves.
Maybe. Anyway.
You need the needle to put it on the Purl Strings.
So, this pattern is written top down or bottom up in pieces. So everything starts at the bottom, goes to the top in pieces. Same with the sleeves. Flat. Right?
My least favorite way to make a sweater.
Hate that for sleeves. Don't mind it for front and back.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It was fine for front and back.
I like to be able to try things on.
But for the sleeves, I really want to be able to fit the sleeves for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lengthwise as well as circumference-wise, and that's very hard to do when you're doing something flat.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But
what type of sleeves are they? Are they set in?
They're set in. No, they're set in, and there's a little bit of a saddle.
Okay.
There's a tiny saddle, and then set in. Which is why these fronts aren't seamed together yet.
Gotcha.
So what I'm going to do is do about 2 inches of the stockinette, part of the sleeve, because the way the sleeve works is you cast on, you do increases to the width of the sleeve, and then you go straight for a while until you do the sleeve shaping.
Right.
So I can do 2 inches of straight, and then do the sleeve cap shaping in the saddle, bind it off, block it, seam it in, seam the whole sweater, and then join in the round and start going down. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good plan.
Definitely.
I would say, because I am lazy, and I don't like sewing in sleeves.
Yeah.
I would either do that, or I would do. Is there a pattern on the saddle?
No.
Oh my god, it's just stockinette?
Yes.
Okay, I would 100% then. I would knit the saddle, right?
And then contiguous the sleeves?
And then I would, I would seam the sweater. I would knit just the saddle. I would leave live stitches on the saddle.
Yeah.
And then I would do a top-down set-in sleeve cap using the live stitches on the saddle. And then pick up stitches all the way around. And then do my little short rows. And I would do that.
Could do that.
Because I hate setting in sleeves. I hate it.
I don't mind. But I might do that if this doesn't work. But anyway, so to do that, to knit from 2 inches up to the sleeve cap, I needed live stitches on the end. So I looked up Laura Nelkin's video yesterday, which I had never done. I knew it existed, but I had never done it. And so I cast on my 78 stitches, which is how many the full width is.
Okay.
What's
her cast on?
So she casts on over a stitch saver.
Over Purl Strings.
Over Purl Strings.
That's why you needed the Purl Strings.
That's why you needed the Purl Strings. And then you just pull the needle through. All your stitches are oriented the right direction. You just continue knitting.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's smart. I like that.
It works really well. And I did this little swatch so you can see, like the live stitches are like there's no seam at all. They just go straight onto the purl strings. They're ready to go. Everything's in the right direction. So this will be invisible. You won't be able to see like sometimes when you pick up stitches from like a provisional, it's like they're offset, like they're almost in the middle of the other stitches. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's because in stockinette, like when you go, if you're going up one way, the V's are pointing this way.
Right.
But when you're looking at it the other way, like you're coming about it from the other way, the V's are in between. It's like you get half of a V here, half of a V here to point it the other way. So like that's why you can't do ribbing. Like ribbing, anything ribbing based, or like where you're alternating knits and purls, or like, and cables are ribbing based. You can't do a provisional cast on and then knit it down. Everything will be half a stitch off.
Right.
They are half a stitch off. But
here,
look at
this.
Not really half. It doesn't look like
it's not half a stitch off. Look, they're coming straight up from the.
They are half a stitch off.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because look, that is the center. That stitch is the center of the V.
Oh yes, well I agree. But in stockinette, this loop is going to continue a stockinette. It's going to look continuous.
Yeah, it's going to look continuous. But like.
Yeah, okay.
But if you look, it still is half a stitch off because, like, on one side you have the loop coming out of the center of the V.
Yes.
And on the other side you have the loop coming out half a stitch over. But so long as the way that you're looking at it, if you're looking at it with the loop coming out of the V, you're like, that looks good. And then you flip it over and you look at it and the loop comes out of the V. You're like, that's great.
Yes. So this is what I'm going to do. However, so I did 78 stitches like this.
Okay.
Which is what was the max distance?
Yes, that was what you're
that was your circumference up here.
Yep. And then, or 72. Anyway, no, 72. I had 72. And then started knitting, and I probably got about this far.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put it around Chad's arm, and it looked about like that.
That's a lot of ease.
Yeah.
It was a lot of ease. And I was like, that's when I texted, and I'm like,
I need help.
I'm not knitting this sleeve. So like
that's a lot of ease.
Yeah, it was a lot of ease. And I was like, I don't know about this.
How much ease is the sweater designed with?
A little bit. I looked at the pictures. It doesn't say.
It doesn't say like 2 to 4 inches of ease.
No, not in the arms.
No.
But if you look at the dimensions of
if it's a classic
it's
a classic style sweater, it's gonna have 2 to 4 inches of ease everywhere, including the arms.
Right. Yeah, and if you look at the pictures,
it's definitely going to be more classic design sweater, and she's going to have a looser arm.
It definitely does have a looser arm in the pictures. So that was the point where I messaged yesterday. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. Like, just looking at it and like folding it around his arm, right? I had 20 extra stitches.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
Well,
like
so one question though, is he going to wear anything under it? Because when we were talking about tight-fitting sleeves earlier, that was the one thing I thought of that I didn't say at that time. Like, if it's something where I'm wearing a turtleneck under it, I do want it not to be quite as tight-fitting.
He'll wear an undershirt, and that's it.
Okay,
so you don't really need to. You're not accommodating like anything bulky.
This is the other thing. I do think a snugger sleeve lends itself more to a more feminine-looking garment.
Yeah. Well. I don't want to. Well, okay. Do you want me to tell you what my further research?
Yeah.
I decided like if I'm going to have this conversation, I need to come armed.
Yes.
So
you need measurements
and gauge.
Yes, that's the other thing.
So then I took this piece, which has stockinette on the sides, knit flat, just in the same needle size, in the same needle that I'm knitting the sleeves. And I had measured the gauge here over 2 inches, and that was 9.75 stitches to 2 inches.
Okay.
Right, which is 19.5 stitches to 4 inches.
Okay.
Okay. And then I said, hey babe, come here, flex. Right. And I made him flex, and I measured the widest part of his bicep, which is 15-inch circumference.
Okay.
So then I did the math, and with this gauge at a 15-inch circumference.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Your gauge.
Yes, my math. Okay, so I made him, and so 15 inches around. So you do the math, right? 9.75 stitches to 2 inches.
Okay.
15 inches around is 73 stitches around. And I'm like, I cast on 72. I think, like, when I look at this gauge versus this gauge, it's like way looser.
It is way looser.
Why is my gauge so much looser? I don't know.
So just go down needle size.
Anything?
No, I didn't. So anyway,
That's weird.
I was cutting in
So
today.
If anything, though, like usually in the round, but you're not in the round yet.
You're not
I'm
in the
not
round.
around. I'm not
just
on
go down
small
needle
circumference. You know, like it's still flat on the exact same needle with the same yarn.
And it looks weird. This looks so much denser than this.
Yes. What the heck am I doing? Anyway.
I think this you need to
sometimes
go down in needle size.
It's a me problem. Yes.
It's a you problem. But I think also, like, and I remember conversations that we've had about this where it's like, Kathleen and I are like, I ain't go down in needle size. I'm like, because that's harder than changing the way that you knit. And you're like, I change the way I knit.
I do change the way I knit.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like,
but not for a whole sleeve. It's no fun.
Can't
It's so well you could, but it's just easier to go down a needle size.
I actually did that for this whole sleeve.
You went down a needle, or you changed the way you knit?
I changed my tension. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But how many sleeves did you knit for this sweater?
3. Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I didn't do it the first time, and then I got to the end, and this one was like freaking baggy, and I was like, what the heck?
Gosh.
And then I
So you're being like us now, and you're getting looser as you go along.
We're rubbing off on you.
But I counted my stitches, which I didn't do at the beginning of the sleeve, because why would you do that?
You don't need to do that.
And I had 3 extra stitches in the sleeve, which on a 0 ease.
Yeah,
right,
and with
really
as few
shows
stitches
up.
as
That
you
shows
have,
up.
Yeah.
percentage-wise, it was
And
a lot.
I think what I did was on this sleeve, when I picked up on the corners, I immediately decreased them away.
Oh, and you did none.
And I did it on this sleeve.
Yeah.
And then I probably actually did a raglan here, which I forgot over here, which is how the other stitch ended up.
Yeah,
Wrapped in.
that's why sometimes I suggest the decreasing them away, like clip them together.
That's what I do.
If you keep
I
forgetting.
put them on and I do this. I just do it because
Yeah.
that way, because otherwise
I
I'm
can't
like, did I do it? Did I not do it?
Yeah. I
so
think you need to go down a needle size.
I think I might too. Because
It's just going to be easier.
at
for
least
you if
I
you do.
know I need this target gauge,
Yes.
right? Like, if I knit this gauge, then it will be
Then
fine.
you'll be fine.
And I'll have the right stitch. The thing that I was worried about was, like, if I needed 20 fewer stitches, then I have to redo the math of the whole sleeve cap.
Well, I was
Which
going to
is gonna
say
be
your
a
sleeve cap
freaking
shaping.
nightmare.
That would be another reason to do the saddle only.
Yeah.
And then pick up. Because that is the other thing. Like, if you have to mess around with sleeve cap shaping, because you got to match your sleeve cap to your arm side.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if you change something here, then you have to change it here.
Right.
And if you change something here, then it has to change here. Right. And you have a little bit of flexibility because of the stretchiness of knitting. But, like, that's why I like doing that, like, to avoid all of that.
Yeah.
All of it. Just pick up the stitches around the arm side and do the short round.
I'm gonna try this first. Probably on one sleeve. I am determined not to knit 3 sleeves for this sweater. 3 full sleeves.
Yes.
I might knit 1 sleeve cap and 2 sleeves, but that's acceptable because the sleeve cap's not that
Sleeve
big.
cap doesn't take that long.
No. But I'm not knitting 3 sleeves for this, or 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the sleeve cap one of those, like, just triangle into...
It's like
thing?
round.
Oh, so it's so it's actually complicated.
So
Sometimes
that's
like you're like,
about,
here's the sleeve cap shaping, and it's a triangle.
Yeah,
you're
no.
like, I can fudge that.
What's going on?
No, she's gonna have it well fitted.
Yeah.
Damn her.
I did the
thoughtful talents. We love you, Nora.
the fake, pick up and fudge it and everything.
Yeah,
And it was on one of Haley's sweaters, and it was fine. Oops, sorry. It was fine for the first one, but making the second one match was a pain in the ass.
It was.
I
That was.
don't have a problem with that.
I have done that
Yeah.
poorly before. I've also done it well before.
Yeah.
You just gotta
Just
mark
go
it
down
out.
a needle
You
size.
gotta plan it out. Like, if you're gonna do the pickup, you gotta
You have to
plan
do the
out
same number of
both
stitches.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when.
and yes, it has to be the same number.
Where was I like? I think that was where I learned doing like this is the middle folded in half. This is the halfway. This is the eighth
Keep
point.
dividing
And
it.
doing like the same number of stitches between each one because
Mhm.
What was it, my Mrs. Crosby sweater that has
Yes,
the
That's
speckles
what, and that
with
was the
red?
same one that I did. Yeah, that I did it for Haley.
Yeah,
The,
I did one
was
sleeve that
that?
doesn't have a puff and the other one does have a puff. that was not the plan, but I also didn't care enough to undo it.
Nah.
So anyway, so that's the status of this. My only progress is this, which is going to be ripped out. And learning.
Yeah. Sometimes learning. And also preventing you knitting 3 sleeves.
Yeah.
No fun.
A little bit of time at the beginning.
# goals, no 3 sleeves.
Yeah.
No 3 sleeves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? What else do you have? Anything else?
Well, I said in the meantime, since I was stuck on and couldn't move forward on the sleeves, I've been working on my Hooked on Grannies more.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, so, and I was talking about this on Knit Night. I'll show you, because I didn't talk about this much last time. I just mentioned that I did it. But yeah, I finished another square and got probably 3/4 of the way through.
So pretty.
Another one. So this is 2 3/4 squares finished for August, which I feel like is a good progress.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this square is Hooked on Grannies by Hooked on Sunshine. So it's a traditional granny square afghan, which so you knit all the squares and then you put them together.
Or crochet them.
Yeah, yes, you crochet all the squares.
We're so used to saying knit sometimes.
And then you crochet them together. So we actually did this as a crochet along in 2022 and into 23, where we did 1 square a month. And my goal was to do 2 of each square from June 22 through May of 23. My goal was to do 2 squares a month. And I fell behind pretty quickly. Basically after the summer, I fell behind. And have remained behind since then. But I'm getting close now. So now I have, this is square number 20, and this is square number 21.
All right.
You're getting there.
And how many are you doing all together?
25.
All
Nice.
Right. Yeah. So I think.
It's only 4 away.
Yeah. So this is like my, at night at the house. Like now it's living by my TV.
Mm-hmm.
The TV in the den. And I just pick up whatever I'm working on. I finished everything that I had started in class. Because we had an online version crochet along and an in-person crochet along, and I would start both, at
versions of it. Yeah. And you flipped your color order right for the 2 squares. Was that what you did?
What I did. Let me show you. Like this is the finished one. This is Charmaine, I think. Nope, this is Heather. This is Charmaine. Each one of them has a different name. So this is Heather. And basically what I did, the yarn that I'm using is King Cole Cotton Soft in 6 or 7 different colors. It goes white to the light beige to the darker brown, coral, pink, purple, blue, green, and yellow. And I always go in the same order, but I pick a random color to start each center, like basically what my hand hits. Or if I have like a little leftover of this one, I have a little leftover of the pink, so that's a good thing to start the center in.
Yeah,
right, because you don't have to.
Right. So, so I just start each one in a different color, and then go outward in the same color order. Right. Ta-da!
Cute.
So
it looks cohesive.
Yes, it all
different.
Yeah, that way they're cousins and not like siblings.
Love it.
Yeah, so this one, these are almost done, like I said.
Yeah.
This is, I have to do 1 more of Heather. This is my 2nd of Charmaine.
Okay.
I have to do 2 of somebody. 1 from October, Aurora maybe, that I never started. For some reason I never did any of them. Maybe it was Rhinebeck weekend.
That could have been.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just never started any of the October square at all. So I have to do 2 of those. And then I'm going to do Gale as my center. And I'm going to be done.
Nice.
So I'm hoping, which I think is completely achievable, by the end of the fall, I'll have all the squares done. Then my finish of February is going to be attaching the squares.
Cool.
Nice.
And I was talking to one of our Wednesday night regulars, Judy, who finished her Hooked on Grannies this earlier this spring. Earlier this spring.
Pick a season.
Judy finished hers, and she said it's completely achievable to do 1 a day. We like to attach 1 square a day.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
I remember I finished my mom's. I saw the one I made for my mom. I was at her house last weekend for a little while, and she had it was on one of her chairs.
Oh,
so
I love
pretty.
it.
And yeah, I put that thing together. I mean, I only did 12 squares.
Yeah.
I did a 3x4. Mine was definitely smaller, but yeah, once you start working on it to get it together, it'll go pretty fast.
Yes.
Definitely. There's a siren.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna do 1 a day for the month of February, and I should be able to do 25 squares put together. Ta-da!
Perfect. Oh yeah, that's great.
Because basically you have to crochet around 3 times every.
Yeah, but definitely allow some time too to do the overall border. That actually took longer than I thought.
That is not part of Finish It February.
Okay.
Just attaching them as Finish It February.
There
this
you
year.
go. There you go.
That's all. And then,
but also then that becomes something that you can
Yes.
just like work on it a bit each evening, and
and I was looking at the border too. I think the border is 8 rows, or 9, and
I definitely modified mine. I didn't do all of.
Or maybe I thought that I would modify it so that it would be 1 row of each color that I used.
Yeah, that was
nice.
I did something like that. Yeah,
that'd be nice and cohesive.
Yeah, exactly. And then that'll be again my TV project.
Your March.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
March, April, whatever.
Becomes
you got plans.
Then I'll do a side
crocheting, whatever.
But the stitches there aren't very hard. There's just 1 round of puff stitches, I think, in the border that would take
which takes a long time.
2 weeks. But other than that,
Yes,
that's fine. So that's Hooked on Grannies. It's making progress. It's out of the deep whips pile and back in regular rotation.
Out of hibernation.
Cool.
The other thing I've been working on. This is what I've been working on while I was here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm still doing 3x3 ribbing on my cami number 2 by My Favorite Things, in leftovers of La Bien Aimée Cash Merino.
Yeah.
Which I think I should have made a bigger size.
Oh no.
But oh well, it is what it is. But since I should have made a bigger size, that means that it's going to stretch more than I would prefer it to, which is fine. It's a cami, but that means I need to make it longer
because when it stretches, it sucks up.
Yeah. So
you got more.
Are you going to need to get another skein yarn?
No, I will not.
I know that is really
that's always the challenge when you're trying to do something to use up leftovers.
Basically after I finish this part, right? It's 2 triangles.
Yeah.
And I-cord, and that's it. So.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Well, you're still working it.
Yes, this was. You remember when we were talking about this one where I didn't lie to myself on my size? Yeah, I didn't do that with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I fibbed just.
Use measuring tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I believe what it says.
Yeah.
Part 2 is important.
The second part and be like, are you sure? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
What's up next? What do we have?
I have to be somewhere else in 20 minutes.
Yes. So we can talk a little bit new in store, talk about our winner from the last episode, and do a new question.
Okay. So let's go with
Let's talk about what's new in store.
What's new in store and do the winner from the last episode.
Yeah. So some new in store is that we just talked about in the newsletter.
Yay.
Yes, that was published yesterday is restock of Rasta.
Woo!
So we got
I'm going to take this one because it's very similar to the Leo
It is.
color.
It's really, and it's funny because
blending in.
it's the same brand, but it's not the same color.
So
Aren't they so fun?
pretty.
I love this. This is Piedras,
Piedras.
which is like stones, basically.
And this one is Anniversario.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty. I love this one.
Molino. Isn't that nice?
Oh, so pretty.
This one is Wales Road.
Mm-hmm.
It does go with Lino.
Right? It looks very similar.
It's just a little more purpley. Yeah, darker version, sort of.
If we get close to Rhinebeck and it's predicted to be chilly, I can knit one up the night before.
Hang out a hat.
And this one is cucumber, is that right?
Yeah.
I like that color.
Yeah.
I thought that was really pretty.
Such a pretty light color. So these are just our new colors, right?
Exactly.
But we still have a ton of
We have another
colors.
like 15 colors or something, but we just wanted to add some new things to the mix. And
these are the ones we saw live at H&H, right?
Yeah.
Where we got to pick things out.
These I picked when we were restocking.
No, because we already. But that was our initial orders when we picked at H&H.
Or it was our initial that. Yeah, we didn't. I don't think we picked any colors of Rasta because we didn't think it would sell that much over the summer. But it became such a great yarn for for our kids' knitting class. Like they almost all picked Rasta as their.
Not? It's so.
I know, it's so pretty. So we were getting so low, so we just needed to do another order. So I ordered like 10 or 12 that we had done before, and then I was just like, let's see what we haven't had that that would, you know, kind of fill in some gaps.
That one
Isn't that so pretty? I thought that was really fun. And this just with like the deep pink and deep purple and everything.
Really like autumnal.
This for a little more muted, but like so autumnal. I love this.
I saw that one. I was like, oh, Kathleen.
That's a Kathleen color for sure. Yeah. But you know, I love the whale. We got, and actually Leo and Wales Road, we got both of those in Rios. We did, but I just thought it would be a good addition for the Rasta.
Yeah, it's a really pretty color.
And then we always recommend for beginners to do light to medium colors, so that's why the cucumber was, you know, it's like, we had a pale pink, we had a pale blue, we didn't, you know.
It's a pretty icy color, too.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. I like that one.
So we have new colors of Rasta, and you can check them all out on the website or in store. And then, what's our other new one?
So the other one, and actually one reason I wore this today is to show off how pretty kakagori looks when it's made into a garment.
Yeah,
it does look so pretty.
Thank you.
I was taking photos of these, and I was like, jelly.
Yeah. So we got 4 new colors of Noro kakagori, which is such a great year-round yarn for people who can't or prefer not to do wool. It works so well.
Yeah, because it's 50% cotton, 30% silk, 10% viscose, and 10% polyester.
That's a repeat, but that is a one, their most popular color of this yarn, which was out of stock for like 6 months.
Yeah, so we have a ton.
But because it, you know, we ordered a lot of it, so we've got a lot now. But these are the new jewel. Oh yeah, and there is a purple.
There's a purple, which I'm going to put in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't find it.
Right now, but we know we have 4, so
4 exists.
4.
Well, and I love this put up too because it's got how many yards? It's 600 meters.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it's a 200-gram ball, 600 meters. So you can like, I don't know. It's so much more satisfying. You're like, you need 2 balls.
Yes, you definitely.
Yep.
One change. I love this color.
You use this color for your.
Your rocket
my rocket tee,
exactly
that with the
so pretty.
What do you call it?
Denim decay.
Denim decay, which no longer is around, sadly. But you know,
it's like just a beautiful neutral. But
you could do a rocket tee with like
color.
2 colors. That would be so good.
This would be so pretty. I love it.
Yeah, it feels so nice. I do love wearing that top.
And we have additional colors of kakagori too. These
we
do. Just the new
These
colors
are the new ones.
and the favorite colors.
Exactly.
Cotton plus silk is just such a nice feeling.
It's and
really
easy
nice
to wear.
And you know, honestly, so transitional. Like I could wear this anytime, but like the deepest of winter. I feel like it really is comfortable in the summer, and I get very warm quickly, so I'm not somebody who really likes to wear woolly things in the summer. But this is such a nice blend. It feels really good. Yeah. Very
really
comfortable to wear.
All right. So, what was our question last week?
So, our question last time was, what are your end of summer plans? Would you like me to take that out of your way?
Yes, please.
What are your end of summer plans? And, you know, what was the one last thing you wanted to squeeze in? We had lots of great responses. And, you know, a lot of places, people have already gone back to school, you know, as opposed to here where it's happening this week. Some places, you know, it's going to be warm for much longer. But our winner is Trisha Shaver, 9399, who said she's looking forward to one more beach trip knitting by the sea.
Yeah, love it.
Love watching you all. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. So she wins the choice of 1 skein of Madara. Whoops, sorry.
Also Noro.
Yep. Or a pack of Stick and Stitch, which was a new thing from Rico that we had from last episode. So Trisha, take a look at our Madara and Stick and Stitch and let us know which one of those you'd like.
Very cool.
Yay. All right.
So
after much conferring,
we had to stop because the question that many of us were thinking, which is, how many sweaters or how many sleeves do you like to knit for your sweaters?
Per garment. What's your average sleeve count?
Probably most folks would aim for 2. So instead, we were talking a lot. I mean, Amanda's got like her projects planned. You're a planner.
I am.
So I think our question this week should be more like, what are you guys looking forward to knitting for fall? And if any of them happen to be good suggestions for my fall sweater class, please.
We will take those as well.
Mark those.
Yeah.
But what are you guys looking forward to knitting for fall? Because it's starting to turn into sweater weather. Finally.
Yep.
Mhm.
Finally.
Good shawl weather.
Good shawl
perfect.
weather.
Right?
Yeah.
A shawl with a white t-shirt and jeans.
Cute. Perfect transitional outfit.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice little
accessories.
denim jacket.
And what will the randomly chosen winner win?
The winner will win their choice of one skein of Rasta that we just showed you our new colors, or one dragon egg ball of Kakagori.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and we love to give people a choice of their prize too. I think that's always fun.
I think it's always fun to be able to pick.
All right.
Be able to pick. What else we got?
So I think that's it.
I think that's it too.
I think we've, as usual, we've chatted for quite a while.
Yeah. I'm not gonna dash.
We are not pithy.
we never are at a loss
I mean,
for things to
maybe we
talk
are pithy,
about.
but
We
we're
really
not.
aren't. Yeah.
We're not
pithy in excess.
pithy and excess.
And I'm just writing down what we said because otherwise
we'll
not
forget.
Remember.
Because it's in one ear out the other. Luckily, it's on video, so we can.
Yes.
We
can
could go
sing.
back with this.
I'll
Is
do
so
this
much
again.
easier.
This is so much easier.
This is so much easier.
In the meantime, thanks for joining us, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps us out. And then also follow us on all of our various platforms. We're Shop Yarnia on Instagram, Facebook. The website is shopyarnia.com. Because also you don't want to miss out on the information for our birthday sale.
Yep.
And we'll talk a lot about like Rhinebeck and Fall Festival next week. Next time.
Next
Yep.
time.
Next
2 weeks.
Time. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
um,
Because I don't have editing time every week.
yes, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So in the meantime, thanks again, and we will see you next time.
Bye.